Hi, Kev here, Tabletop Upgrades. Another lean update. 1 week on from when I did the improvement spotting. Last week, I spotted 15 opportunities to make fairly big improvements, and I've been working my way through that list this week. So this video is an opportunity for me to try my new camera setup. You'll notice there's some different lighting up, and also there's a camera mount now, and I'll cut in some footage of that. But also an opportunity to go around and look at all the improvements we've made in the last week. Okay, so this is the list that I went through. I've been ticking off as we go, and I'll just go through in order. The first one is I've been sorting out cables, and under here there was a real mess, and now you can see it's much tidier. If you look just behind these headphones here, you'll notice that the power supply has been mounted under there, so it's not dangling, no strain on the cables. Also, all the other cables have been tied up with some Velcro tie wraps, so that's a big improvement. Makes it look much neater, especially considering that this area is now a background for YouTube videos. We've labelled up the new electrical plugs and installed the new light switch. These are all things which were causing problems. This is now I've got full lab lighting, so it's really bright in here when it needs to be, which makes things a lot easier. We've also made a guillotine mount, if you remember from last week. This paper guillotine used about every other week. It was just lying on the floor, so I've made some hooks, and that lives where, well, obviously you just use that with paper. The paper comes out of the printer, so they're together. Makes sense. No more walking around. Developing the YouTube process, so that's come in a couple of points. I've tidied this area up, so this was a real rat's nest of cables, and now it's a permanent area for recording videos. You've seen the kind of lighting, so I've got a floodlight that reflects off the wall, a little key light that shines on my face, a little ring light. Tied up all the cables, labelled everything up. I've actually got my phone on charge here at the moment, but everything that's sort of extraneous lives in these two drawers. So I've tied them up and used Phil's idea of having labelled zip ties. So that's a big improvement there, much tidier. Still on the idea of lighting improvements, I've put this basically it's an LED strip around the back of this monitor, and it kind of snakes its way back, and for video purposes I can change the colour of it, which is nice. Can easily change the look of videos, but actually I find it's got an additional benefit, is it reduces the screen glare when I'm working on that machine, so that's really helpful. I put on there, eliminate the corner of shame, so it's better. There's still some stuff behind there. I've tied up all the wires and 3D printed another PSU mount, but I've put some model display case at the bottom, so it looks pretty cool. But also I've got this work in progress rack, which is exactly where I need it. So instead of having to walk and crawl under this desk here to get at it, which was pretty daft, it's just a movement of the arm to get everything that I need, which is good. The YouTube process, I've done some work on making basically like a little pro forma to help me develop video ideas. Haven't touched any of the paints yet, and I've cleared some crap off this work surface. So I had headphones, and basically whenever I'm doing my accounts or whatever, I've got some nice headphones, plug it into my laptop, and I've got the old IKEA Pohang chair there. So there's still quite a bit to do, there always is. The biggest one, especially considering it's -2 this morning, we need to get this ducting routed through this wall into the little store area, because at the moment I'm having to dangle it out this door and it gets really cold in here. For now I've got this little oil heater that I have on intermittently just to keep the temperature up. We're at 11.4 degrees inside and -1.5 degrees outside. So good laser cutting conditions, but it does get a bit chilly. So there you have it, lots of improvements. But one thing I'm going to be doing this week that I'm focusing on is just thinking about the idea of non-value added activity. I'm going to keep a little dry wipe board, and every time I find myself doing something which isn't adding value to a process, I'm going to make a note of it. One thing that was really hitting me that I've changed already, that wasn't on the list, is these fragile labels. When they were here and I was packing here, sometimes I pack the odd thing here after finishing it, the labels need to be there. Other things come straight off the laser into packaging, and then I'm basically forever walking back and forth there to there. It's not a huge distance, but you can imagine the time adds up, the inconvenience, the annoyance. So ages ago, I bought hundreds of, I say hundreds, at least 20 of these fragile tape rolls, and they shipped me a free tape dispenser. So I've actually sighted that permanently on top of the chiller now. So I've always gotten, it's much nicer. I pull that out and the label dispenses. So I've got one there, and I've got some backup labels just over there. So I'm not running back and forth, and it's going to be much better. I did that for the first time yesterday. Way easier. So I'm just going to look for little opportunities like that, because these things add up and they really do make a difference. It might only be 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, but it can be half an hour a day, and then half an hour every day for a whole year. Some serious time. So there we have it. Some lighting to improve, but massive improvements this week. I feel like I've really got back into the 2-second lean improvement. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.